This is State Representative James Tallarico from Texas. If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab. Trump told our Republican colleagues to redraw the political maps here in Texas in the middle of the decade to get him 5 more seats and protect his majority in Congress. They're turning our districts into crazy shapes to guarantee the outcome they want in the 2026 elections. If this power grab succeeds, they will hang on to power without any accountability from the voters. But Texas Democrats are fighting back. We're leaving the state, breaking quorum, and preventing Republicans from silencing our voices and rigging the next election. We are not fighting for the Democratic Party. We are fighting for the democratic process, and the stakes could not be higher. We have to take a stand.
Us as members of Congress to confirm our addresses. I don't know how many of us actually still reside in the districts that we represent. I do not currently reside in my district based upon the plan that has been drawn, which is another red flag, in addition to courts consistently looking at how many people have been.
We got all hell breaking loose in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. We just got big news that a manhunt is about to be on the way to bring back these Democrats who have left their congressional statuses and chairs in order to fight the redistricting of the maps, the redistricting of the districts. And ladies and gentlemen, we got big updates as to where they went. They went to Chicago. They went to Illinois. They went to be with Governor Pritzker, which, again, we're going to talk about the redistricting that happened in Illinois. That's actually even crazier. But again, the big plan here is that the GOP has outsmarted, and they're trying to do this before 2026 midterms, so this can stick for about the next 10 years. Also, this redistricting program and map and new way of doing things will basically put Jasmine Crockett out of a job. Now, we got big news from the Attorney General of Texas, where I'm at right now. His name is Ken Paxton. He says, breaking Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton warns that Democrats fleeing Capitol to unlawfully dodge voting on GOP redistricting will be arrested and hauled back to Austin by law enforcement. So that means of a way of a manhunt to track these people down. Again, they're bragging about it. Many of them are on social media and bragging about the fact that they are fleeing Texas. This is pretty insane stuff. Here we go. Let's read more about this. Dozens of Texas Democrat lawmakers will now flee the state to avoid allowing Republicans in the legislature to pass the map, which adds 5 GOP House seats per political. They want to break quorum. Attorney General Ken Paxton has stated plainly, if they do this, they may be arrested. And again, Ken Paxton is receiving a lot of hate for taking this stance because this is all unlawful. They can't do this, so he says. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all just hours ago. Democrats coming out and doing this. But we have an update. Texas Democrats flee the state to prevent vote on new GOP House map that adds 5 Republican districts. House Speaker Dustin Burrows says all options will be on the table tomorrow at 3 p.m. if the quorum is not met, which it probably will not be. Again, they fled over to Illinois where they would be protected by Governor J.B. Pritzker, which is just crazy, right? What can they do? Issue a call of the House. This compels the presence legally of absent House members via sergeant at arms and track them down. So tomorrow, this is the plan for the GOP. They are going to call of the House. They're going to call the House, and if these guys are not there, if these people are not there. And again, I'm getting word that legally, again, the governor of the state can also do something about this by claiming the vacancies of the seat, claiming the seats to be vacant. So that's something that the governor of Texas could also do. But will that be done? Well, AG Ken Paxton is not playing any games with these Democrats that are trying to stop this. Here we go. Let's get an update here from Brian Harrison, who is updating us on this. Take a listen.
Hey, howdy Texans, Brian Harrison here. We've got some breaking news right now. It appears that the Texas House Democrats, perhaps unsurprisingly, are beginning the process of engaging in a quorum break to stop the redistricting efforts. We were planning on voting on the redistricting map tomorrow morning on the House floor, but it appears the Democrats are in the process of or have already fled to Illinois, where their governor has apparently made preparations to welcome them. This is not unexpected, and this is not a failure. I'm sorry, this is a failure of the Republicans. This is not something we should let the liberal Austin establishment blame on the Democrats. This tactic has been talked about for days and weeks. We knew this was coming. Here's what should happen right now. Number one, the Speaker of the Texas House, who, keep in mind, was the Democrat caucus candidate for Speaker. Okay, so it's his supporters that are fleeing the state, even though he's a Republican. It was the Democrats in the Texas House that elected him. So his supporters are the ones breaking quorum to stop the maps. If the Speaker of the House is serious about delivering for Republicans and President Trump, he would immediately, and this is what I am calling on him to do right now, he should convene immediately a session of the Texas House, get him or somebody else to go preside over the body, and immediately move for what's called a call of the House. The call of the House is what would authorize law enforcement to immediately be dispatched to arrest, detain, and bring back to the Capitol for the purposes of establishing a quorum these Democrats who are violating their constitutional duty and fleeing the state to thwart the will of the voters. So that's what I'm calling on the Speaker to do right now. If he's serious, he would immediately convene a call of the House and go out and arrest these Democrats. And once they cross state lines, the governor of the state of Texas needs to do everything he can with his federal partners to arrest them and extradite them back to the state of Texas. The future of our country is on the line. The Democrats act like it's the weak establishment liberals in the Austin Uniparty. They need to stand up, show Texas, show America. They know what time it is. Be bold, demonstrate leadership, bring the Democrats back.
Wow. This is a huge scandal again, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see right here, Texas Democrats head to Illinois to deny Republicans a quorum on redistricting. Excuse me. Yeah, and what's crazy about this is we're going to tell most gerrymandered state in the union to protest. This, they say, is the most gerrymandered state, which is Illinois. Again, look at Chicago, look at Illinois as a whole. When you look at the way that it was redistricted in the Democrats' favor, and everybody is talking about this. This is the most redistricted state, and that's where they're going. They're going there. Democrats doing what they do best, which is being pro-illegal and pro-anti-America. And again, they went literally to Illinois, the most redistricted state. Courage is what we're talking about here. And I got to show you this video. Democrats have been redistricting for years, and now the Republicans are doing a deal. The GOP is doing it. Take a listen.
5 districts Trump carried by double digits in 2024 and helped the GOP retain their House majority. It makes areas in the Rio Grande Valley redder, packs Democrat-controlled districts, making them bluer, and creates new Republican-leaning districts elsewhere. So, amidst all the freak out, let's take a look at some of the examples of Democrats gerrymandering. Let's head over to the wall. First up, let's take a look at Maryland. In 2016, Republicans won 37% of statewide votes for the U.S. House in Maryland, but they only got 1 out of 8 seats because of the way the congressional districts are drawn in Maryland. Maryland's not the only one. It also has occurred in California, in Illinois, and across the country. Let's show you exactly, though. Let's scoop in on Maryland, take a look exactly how they drew these districts. I think if you can, I don't know how tightly you can see this or come in on this, but you can see the 3rd congressional district in Maryland. I mean, it's got lines going every which way. All the way around Annapolis, it's shaped something like, I don't know how to describe that, like a serpent. Or the 4th congressional district, look at this, winding its way around, trying to get closer to Annapolis. That's the definition of gerrymandering, making geographically odd districts to get the voting base exactly how you want it. By the way, in 2022, it got struck down so bad, a court took the map and called it illegal. But this is Illinois. They're also guilty of gerrymandering. Their 2020 map, it drew Dems. It wiped away all 3 toss-up districts in the state, and even threw out 1 solid Republican district, giving them almost a net of 4 new seats in Illinois. So why the freak out over the Texas map? Joining me now is Texas Public Policy Foundation Vice President Chuck DeVore. Chuck, it's great to see you. There's a lot.
It's crazy. The Democrats are so guilty of doing this. And again, because a lot of people don't even pay attention to politics as much as we watching this video, a lot of people think this is the end all be all, like, oh, it started here in Texas. No, that's what you guys been doing this whole time.
A lot of freak out because it's potentially the case that Republicans can pick up 5 seats in the House if Texas is successful in redrawing its map. But has Texas done something different than any of these other states?
No, Texas is not doing anything different at all. And in fact, other states have done mid-decade redistricting. You saw that in Pennsylvania in 2018. Look, this is all about politics. It's all about power. If you look at Texas today and what they propose, once Texas is done, if in fact this gets passed, and that's an open question, by the way, then Texas will still not quite be as gerrymandered as California. So even with all that effort, California still squeezes out more votes per seat than would the proposed Texas seats.
So it wouldn't even be as bad as Chicago or LA or again, California as a whole. But you guys get where I'm going with this. So the panic begins. The manhunt starts tomorrow. And I told you guys, who was it that said it? Mark Halperin said it. He said the moment that Trump wins, this country will go through what do you say? A mental crisis, a mental health crisis. And boy, oh boy, are we going through that right now in the United States of America. Pray for this country, ladies and gentlemen.